We're explaining how to fix the reference error, document is not defined error, you get when using Node.js, Express, D3.js, and EJS together. This error happens because document is a browser-specific object. Node.js runs on the server, not in a web browser, so it doesn't have access to the browser's document object model, DOM. D3.js heavily relies on the DOM to manipulate the HTML, which is why you get this error when trying to use it directly in your Node.js server-side code. The solution is to understand the separation of concerns between client-side browser and server-side Node.js code. Server-side rendering, SSR, is not the solution for this specific error. While SSR might seem relevant, the problem here isn't about rendering the initial HTML. The issue lies in trying to use D3's DOM manipulation functions on the server. D3 needs the browser's environment to function. 2. Separate client-side JavaScript. The correct approach is to keep D3.js entirely on the client side. Your Node.js or Express server should only be responsible for sending data to the client. You use EJS to dynamically generate HTML, embedding the necessary data. Your D3 code will then run in the browser after the page has loaded. 3. Data transfer from server to client. Your Express app should fetch the data required by D3 from your database or other sources. This data is then passed to your EJS templates. For example, you might use a variable within your EJS template that contains the data in JSON format. 4. Embedding D3.js in your EJS template. Include a script tag in your EJS template which links to your D3.js file. Make sure to only begin the D3 code after the DOM has fully loaded. You can use the DOM content loaded event. 5. D3 code in a separate .js file. Organize your D3 code in a separate JavaScript file and link it from your EJS template. This makes your code cleaner and easier to maintain. Within this separate JS file, access the data passed from the EJS template, which was provided by your Express server, and use D3 to create visualizations. Essentially, the server's role is to provide the data. The client, browser with D3, is responsible for visually representing it. By carefully separating server-side and client-side code, you can leverage the power of both Node.js and D3.js without running into the document is not defined error. Remember that Node.js is your backend, generating and sending data, while the browser and D3.js are your front end, handling visualizations based on that data.